What's up, guys? It's me, Tunji from Ceasar Graphix. I'm here again with another beautiful social media poster design. If you're new to my channel, remember to hit the subscribe button so you will be notified anytime I post my tutorials. Okay, in today's video, I'll be doing a start to finish poster design. I'm not going to show you guys what we're going to be doing yet. And before I start, I would like to say what brought this concept. Alright, so I have this client that sent me a message on WhatsApp that they want a Sunday graphics design for social media, for their social media page. And the client said it's a common service, team intimacy, a wholly convenient service. And then the client says something about the concept they are looking at, like what say was thinking the artwork could be of a piece with a child's finger touching the area. Alright, so I had to go online. I googled the image of a child, touching the hole in the hand. I had to go online, search online to see if I can get image that will go with what they are asking for. And I searched and searched. I searched for over 1 hour and I couldn't find any good image that shows what exactly they are looking for. Man, it was so annoying. I was like, alright, so I had to just get this image of this image, and I had to do it myself. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. Okay, so this is what we're gonna be doing today, and I'm gonna be doing this from start to finish. So let's start by okay, so I have my size set. It's 550 by 550, and for this video I'm gonna be using 200, and I'll call this intimacy. All right, yeah, and I'll click create. Okay, so I have my exercise file right here. All right, so these are the two images I'm going to be using for this tutorial. Oh man, how did I click on that? Okay, so I'm going to bring in the image. Could drag this and drop like this, and I'm gonna scale it down. All right, I'm gonna scale it down to about this size. So I need to zoom in so I can see what I'm doing clearly. Scale it down. I'll position this here, and I need to bring in this image. So I'll drag and drop like I did on the very first one. So I'm gonna scale this. Now I got this image online, so if you're looking at having the same image, you can Google it. And I'm gonna position this here. All right, and I'll drag this down here. Then I'm gonna convert this to black and white. So come here and use gradient map, and I'll use this. So my shadow is black and my highlight is black, and I'll click on this and add curve adjustment, and I'll say I want to apply this adjustment only on this layer, and I'll click on this icon. I need to create a hole in the end, so I'm gonna hide this. I'll make a copy. All right, and I'll rasterize this, rasterize the layer, hide this, and first I need to crop the hand. So I'm gonna crop the hand with my pen tool. So I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna crop the hand now. I need the direct selection tool to push the to push this point out. To push this point out. All right, then I want to hit Control Enter to create a marquee around the hand, and I'll hit Control J to have a layer of the hand, which is this, and I use Control Z or Command Z to undo that, and I'll call this cropped hand. Okay, I'll hide this layer, but I'm gonna hide this layer, and I'll create a marquee around the layer, but I'll make sure I'm on this layer, and all right, I actually need just the finger, just the spot. Actually does a spot. All right, so I held down Alt and I used the polygonal lasso to crop out to take out the portion I don't want selected on the image. And now I'm going to go to edit now and select fill, and I'll hit OK. Perfect. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And now I'm going to create a hole here. So to create a hole, I'll click here and I'll just draw a circle on the side of the hand. Alright, so I'll transform it and rotate it just this way, and I'll hit delete. Alright, so I have a hole now. Add more, maybe on this side. Alright, on this side, and I'll hit delete again. Now I'm gonna make a layer. I'm gonna click on the new layer icon with Alt L down, and I'll call this brush. So I'm gonna hit OK. I'll change the color of my foreground to black. I'll hit brush. For this, I'm not using any custom brush. I'm using the brush that came with my Photoshop. So I'm using a soft round brush. This is the brush I'm supposed to select. So I'll go back again. Okay, everything is fine. And I'm gonna brush right here. I should make the brush a little bit more smaller. I'm using the square bracket to reduce the size of my brush. So I'll brush here. Brush here. Increase the size of the brush again. We just make a point. Alright, just make a point somewhere here. Okay, so I need to check this. I'm using a Graphix stabilizer, so I have to check that option right there. Good. So I'm gonna come here now. The brush over here. Just the size of the brush, and just, you know, and I'll reduce the size just a little bit. Alright, now why am I doing this? I need to do this first to make the hole look real. Alright, so I'm gonna make this come here. Let me see if the position of the hand is perfect. Good. Alright, so I'm gonna position this here. Maybe add just a little more brush on this side and this side. Okay, and increase the opacity just a little bit. Okay, and now I'm gonna make a copy of the two layers. Now shift select the two layers and drag and drop on the new layer icon, and I'll hit Command E or Control E to mesh the two layers. So I'm gonna hide this so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I have them on one layer now. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to go to the liquify panel. Alright, so to bring that out, I'll go to filter and select liquify. Okay, so I have it here, so I'll select the forward warp, and I'm gonna zoom in with Control Space Bar. Okay, and it's time to start pushing this out. So I'll push this here, now close this here, push this out, close this here, so push this here. Okay, so this in. Can we make this go out? Push this side. Push this back in just a little bit. Yeah, I think this is fine. I'm gonna push this down more. Okay, and now I'm gonna hit OK right here. Bam. Now let's see if it's still making sense. Yeah, it is. But it's looking too wide, so I have to go back again. Liquify. The hole is kind of big. It's too big, so I have to go back to liquify again to adjust it. So to zoom in, control minus or command minus to zoom out. Increase the size with the square, open square bracket, I mean the closed square bracket, and I'm gonna push this in. Okay, and push this out here. Alright, so I'm gonna hit OK now. Good. Okay, so I noticed I over applied the liquify effect here, but don't worry, we're gonna fix that later. So let's see if it makes sense now. Alright, I think I like it this way. So to fix this error here, what I'm gonna do now is that's why it's always good to have a backup. So I'm gonna make a copy and position this here. Alright, and make it visible. Okay, and I'm gonna add a layer mask, and I'm gonna invert this by hitting Control I to inverse, and make sure you're in the mask box here, and I'll invert this, and I'll select brush. Alright, and make sure it's soft round brush, and I'll brush here. Right now, make sure your foreground is set to white, not black. Alright, because white is the opposite of black. So I'm gonna brush now. Now you see we're beginning to see the those part looking better now. Alright, so I think this is good. And yeah, so I'm going to put this, or I'm gonna put this in a folder. So I'll shift select these two layers, and I'll hold on shift and put it in a folder and call this hole. And I'm gonna go to adjustment, cover adjustment, and I'll say apply this to just this folder, and I'll click on this icon here, and I'll push this down. Alright, push this down to about this point. Now I need to put this cropped hand inside this folder, so I'll position it here. Alright, and I'll make it visible. Okay, so I'll go back to the adjustment, cover adjustment, and I'll push this down. Alright, and I'm gonna make a layer above it, and I'll select brush and make sure my opacity is set to 45. Sorry, it should be 45. And I'll brush around the hand, the palm, like this. No, like this, and like this. Alright, I'm going to reduce the opacity just a little bit, and I'll put it inside the folder like this. Good. Alright, so I need to reduce the opacity a little bit more. Alright, and need to brush just the side just to add more depth to it. Brush this side just to add more depth. Okay, and I'll create a new layer above the curve layer now, and I'll hold on Alt and click to create a new layer, and I'll call this burn, and I'll make this overlay. Check the fill with overlay neutral, and I'll hit OK. And on this one, I'm going to go to the burn tool. I'll reduce the size of my brush just a little bit. Now brush. Alright, now my brushing should not affect this place, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this first, and I'll push this in here like this so I can see what I'm doing, and it should be below the hand, and I'll hide this. Now I'll brush. Alright, I'm going to brush, reduce the body, brush this side very well. Now somebody will say, hey Caesar, what are you trying to do? I'm trying to create what we call depth. Alright, I'm trying to create more depth just to make it look more real. Okay. Okay, and make this visible again. Reduce this just a little bit. Or better still, just take this off for now. Okay, I'm gonna delete it for now. Delete this for now, and yeah. So position this here. Increase the opacity. Okay, so I'm gonna brush. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna brush right here. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna brush. Alright, create a new layer again. Hold on Alt and call this highlight. For this one, I'm gonna hit OK and just change this to white. Make this white, and use the go to select brush tool, and I'm gonna reduce the size of my brush. Then I'll draw a white line. No, it's still too big, so I'm gonna reduce it and make sure my opacity is set to 100. Alright, so I'm gonna brush this part here. So it size a little bit again, and this time I'll make this maybe something around 15. And I'll just brush, brush, brush. Okay. Right now, reduce the opacity.
Relative opacity. Yep. Let's zoom out so you can see how. Let's see if it's making sense now. Yeah, it is. Alright, and I have to make a copy of this. No, sorry, a copy of this. Okay, so I'm gonna hit Ctrl J or drag and drop here, and this is the one I just duplicated. So I'm gonna hit Ctrl T, the transform adjustment, and I'm gonna scale it down just a little bit. Alright, I'll never rotate it. Okay, and I'll position this somewhere here. Let's rotate it just a little bit. Alright, and for this one I'm gonna go to image adjustment and select levels, and I'm gonna increase the highlight. Alright, no, sorry, the highlight. So push this out. Now hit OK. So I'll move this somewhere here. Maybe I should just scale it a little bit more. Scale it down just a little bit more. Okay, this way. And I had a mask and a select brush, the size of my brush, and this should be black. So clear off this part. No, this is supposed to be 100. Brush to clear off this part. Okay, I think it's making sense now. It is making sense now. Alright, now I have everything in a folder. Am I right? Yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to go to the adjustment, cover adjustment now, and I'll click on this icon, and I'll push this down. Push this down to about this point. Okay, and then for the highlighted part, I'm gonna push this up just a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna push this up. Now notice when I do this, I get this curve lines here. This line here moves. So if I push this up to about this point, I don't know why it's not working. So, oops, that's way too much. No. Okay, I think it's fine now. And I have to say I want it to apply to just that layer. So I want it just on this layer. It's the before and this is the after. Yeah, I think so. We're making sense now. It's making sense now. And I need to create a mask around this, and I'm gonna use my brush tool to clear this part of the hand, because it is not professional. It's not always good for you to do design and just looking and see the hand is actually chopped off. So I have to blend the hand with the background. So to do that, I'm gonna select my brush and add a mask, and make sure this is set to black. Yeah, and I'll brush. Alright, and brush it. Increase the size of the brush again, and just push this in. Okay, yeah, that's it. And I'll make a layer, load this layer now, and make sure this is set to black. And I'm gonna brush somewhere here. Oh, that's way too much. So I'm hitting Ctrl Z to go back, or Command D, and I'll brush here. I'll do the same thing here, but this time I'll reduce the opacity just a little bit, it's affecting my hole, so I select eraser tool and I'll just clear up the whole part like this. Right. Then one other thing I notice again is that my bond layer is affecting every part of the layer of the artwork, and I only wanted to touch the hand. So what I'll do is I'll make a marquee selection around the layer, and I'm going to hold down Alt and click on the mask icon. Oops, no, sorry, don't hold Alt, just click on the mask icon, and this is really affecting the hand now and not the entire background. Alright, so I'm going to increase the shadow now. Okay, increase just a little bit like this. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna create a new layer above all the layers, and I'll call this noise, and I'm gonna fill this with black, so I'll hit Alt backspace, and I'll go to filter, noise, add noise. Alright, now reduce the amount just a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna use Gaussian. Okay. That's too big. Let's take our monochrome. Zoom out just a little bit. So I'm going to. Well, let's make a monochrome instead, and I'll hit OK. Now, my noise is kind of dark, so I have to increase the brightness a little bit. So to increase the brightness, so I'm going to add a gradient map adjustment. So I'll come here and I'll make this color. Alright, and I'll come here and I'll add a little more light tone to it. This is good. I'll hit OK and say OK, and I'll mesh the two layers together by holding Shift or Command. I mean Shift, not Command, Shift, and then hit Control E or Command E to mesh the two layers, and I'll change this to soft light. Alright, so I have this noise effect on it now. So I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit so you can see it. Alright, so let's try overlay. Let's see what overlay will give us. Now overlay is kind of too strong, so I'll change it back to soft light, and I'll reduce the size because it's looking as if my noise is too loud, it's too thick, it's too strong. So I'm gonna hit Ctrl T or Command T to bring out the transform adjustments, and I'll scale it down to about this size. Yeah, this is it. So I'll make a copy now, and I'll push this up here. Alright, mesh the two layers, and everything will go back to the way it was before, but don't worry, we're gonna fix that later. So I'll make I'll make another copy again. Alright, I'm actually using the shortcut before, which is Ctrl J or Command J for Mac users. So I'll mesh the two layers again by hitting Command E or Ctrl E, and I'll change this back to soft light. Alright, yes, and the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to hold on Shift Alt E to make a screenshot of my artboard. So to do that, I'm going to hit Control Alt Shift and E, and I have this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make because I actually want the noise and the edges to be a little bit sharper. So I'm going to go to Filter, Order, and say High Pass, and I'm going to zoom in about this point, and I want something not too sharp, just something around 6 is fine. Yes, so I'm fine with this, and I'll say overlay. Right, so now you see my noise are now stronger than before. All right, so I have this now. Okay, so I'm going to show you the before and after. So this is the before and after. Now you see the changes. Now you may not really see it, but when you're doing it, I'm sure when you're working on it, I'm sure you see what I just did. And I'm going to hit Control Shift, not Shift, Control Shift E, Control Shift Alt and E again. And now I'm going to go to filter, sharpen, unsharp mask. All right, and now I'm trying to give it more, I'm trying to make the details pop out more. So I'm going to push the radius into about this point. Yep, I think I'm down with this. All right, I'll hit OK, and I'm gonna make a new layer again by holding Alt and click right here, and I'll call this burn again, and I'll call this make this overlay, affiliate, and I'll click OK. Now I'm gonna select the bond tool, and I'll increase the size of my brush with the close square bracket. All right, so I'm brushing up now. Okay, increase the size of my brush. Brush this. Yeah, it's the opacity of this one just a little bit. Good. So yeah, so this is it. So I'm gonna increase the brightness just a little bit. So I'll go to brightness, adjustment, and I'll push this down. Okay. Yeah, so this is it. So it's time for me to start adding my text. All right, so to add the text, I'm going to start by using the type 2. So I'm going to click on the type 2, and I'll click right here, and the font I use is called Covered by Your, can hardly see it right here. Okay, maybe I'll let you guys see it later. So I'm going to type intimacy, okay, and I'm going to scale it down. Right, and let me just show you the font, name of the font here. So if I click here, all right, so the font, the name of the font is Covered by Your Grace. All right, now this font is easy to get online. All right, this is a Google font. I got this through Google Font. So to get it, just go to Google and then type Google font, and then you see the list of fonts that you can copy, and I'm sure this is one of them. You can just type the name, just go online and go to Google and just type the name there, and Google will give you good results on the font. Okay, so community service, and the font I use here is Federal. All right, and I'm gonna scale it down to, I'm gonna make this cap, and I'm gonna use the light type of the font. Now hit Ctrl T to bring out the transform option. Okay, so I'm gonna add tracking. Select the text, double click to select the text, and I'm gonna add tracking to it. So I'm using my up and down arrow key to do that now, and I'll position this here. So I'm going to use the transform adjustment. Now every time you see this on my screen, just know what I use is the shortcut for that is Ctrl T for Windows users and Command T for Mac users. So I'm going to position this here. Alright, I'm trying to make this design simple, so I don't want everything to look too big. Then make a square right here, and I'll draw a box. Alright, I'll draw a box and make it black. Create a new layer, make it black. Alright, now to make my layer neat, I need to put all the background in a folder. So I'll shift select everything and hold on shift again and click on the folder icon to put it in the group, and I'll call this BG, meaning background. And one other thing I notice is this side is looking too dark for me, and that's one thing I want you guys to always put in place when you're doing designs. Alright, when you're putting your content, make sure the space you're putting your content is bright enough for people to see the content, alright, to see your text. So I am going to select brush, make it white, and I'm just going to brush. Alright, now scale it, then I'll reduce the size just a little bit. I'm going to reduce the opacity, not size. Alright, this is nice. And I'm going to make a copy of this. I'm going to put this here. Okay, so I had to pause the video because I noticed it's making my typing is making the video too long. So I'll position this here and increase the size of the opacity. Alright, no, this is not proper. Alright, so this is where I'm gonna stop. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, if you love the video, remember to hit the like button, and if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do that right now, and I'll see you guys in my next tutorial. Peace out.